all day yesterday, I took both of the dogs went to the groomers. I took all their beds, got them all washed. The cleaning lady came. She came and she was just in here, cleaned the baseboards. I did the baseboards on Saturday. My closets color coordinated, like my cabinets, like everything in my in this apartment is organized and neat. And I think, Priest, to tell you the truth, to really kind of get, I guess, a little personal. I think it's really hurt me from a standpoint because I'm, still single and never been married, never been engaged. And I don't think I give a lot of people grace. And I kind of understand that now, just, obviously seeing, therapists and talking to different people, because like for me, it's very difficult. Like if I have a friend over and they get up and then don't take the hair out of the sink or don't, make the bed. I'm like, how do you not make the bed? You know what I mean? Those kind of things are like, oh, you're just gonna throw your shoes over there in the corner. I'm like, that kind of stuff that drives me in the wall. So I don't think I allow, I just can't. I'll go to someone's house and just all of a sudden start organizing their magazines like an idiot. So it's just one of those things. I can't really deal with clutter. I'm at the restaurant and like the waitress is taking too long. I done stacked the plates up. I'm handing it to her the dirty dishes. Like those little things. I think those kind of things, and it's not anything I'm ever going to apologize for, because I'd much rather have the organized, neat, and things in place versus total chaos in my life. So I always know if things in my life aren't going like they should, it's probably because like things aren't really organized and to my standard. And so I always do self-checks. So like, man, I'm always reorganizing my closet. All the cars are clean, organized. The dogs, my dogs catch it, man. They're like, man, can we just sit down and be dogs? I'm like, no, y'all gonna put them toys back in that box. So, it's a trait that I love, man, and it's something I think because I think, as Priest, you can give your kids a lot of different things, but the number one thing that my parents gave me was discipline, and that's carried me for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's really good. There's two things I was going to say that you have in common with Mark here, my co-host, is one, when you said AC/DC, I don't know if you noticed about Mark, he's a former drummer, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a musician. Drummer. Yes.
Awesome.
And I love music my entire life. And like you, I grew up in an area where it was so mixed, and I literally listen to there's two types of music, good and bad. And I give everything a chance, because you could be passing up on your favorite thing. You just don't know it yet. But I got to say, Tony, you got a friend in me when it comes to OCD. I don't know if you can see these helmets here, but I sat here for about 20 minutes before we started making sure these were even and like aligned, because I'm the same as you. I'll go over to a friend's place and I just see like shoes in a pile on the side, and I'm like, my brain is like, oh my God, like I'm getting you a gift. It's going to be a shoe organizer. We're going to clean this up. Same thing, man. So I'm with you. I'm with you on the OCD, man. I got it bad.
It makes it difficult though for me. Like I don't like if I'm getting ready to travel or whatever, like my house has to be spotless. They're like, dude, why are you cleaning up? Like, I'm like, dude, I can't come home and things aren't in place. And so it really affects me from a standpoint of like, if I'm planning to go somewhere like on a Friday per se, I'm starting to get everything organized on like a Wednesday. People think I'm crazy, but it's like, I'm with you, bro. I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm always reorganizing things. I'm always priest remember, like things are just kind of neat, organized and in place. And if not, then I felt like things are out of order in my life.
Look, I didn't think that baseboards was going to be a theme from episode to episode on this podcast, but it definitely is. Priest has got me going into rooms like judging the situation based on how clean the baseboards are. I walk in, first thing I look at.
And my dad, because if your baseboards are dirty, like pretty much if the baseboards in the house are dirty, the house is filthy. Like literally, because my dad would always say, like, sweep the corners. If you look at the baseboards, and I hate to do this, but if I look at someone's baseboards, I'm like, man, I ain't eating here. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to. If your baseboards are dirty, your house is a hot mess. So I'm always
hysterical.
Looking at baseboards.
Hysterical.
He said a hot mess.
Now, Tony? Can I ask you? This if it's too personal, don't answer. But
no.
when it came to playing, then. And did you have specific rituals before you took the field? If you were with teammates that maybe weren't as organized as you were, like, did that affect your gameplay? Or did that all kind of just melt away once the whistle blew? Or did those two worlds collide?
No, I think when you're in the midst of it, like you don't, because you kind of like, and I guess the NFL kind of hardened you, because we always say the NFL stands for not for long. And so, I think the fact of coming into the National Football League as an undrafted free agent, you kind of have to have tunnel vision. You really can't really worry or care about what someone else is doing because you got to take care of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad you kind of have to feel that way, because I think, in Priest will attest, because it's like in the off season, we're doing the off season program. We're spending more time with our teammates who are trying to make the team than you spend with your own family. And so all of a sudden, when it gets down to that cut day, and fortunately for me, I was only released once, and that was my rookie year with the Cowboys. But all of a sudden, that cut day comes around, you look up, and you've been out there with 99 of some of your closest buddies. That cut day come down, there's 40 people gone that you might not ever see in your life. So that part kind of hardens you from the standpoint of like, you know what, you just got to take care of yours, because in a blink of an eye, it could be over, and they have you up out of here quick. So you don't really, if you see a teammate or someone kind of straying or doing some things, you might mention it to them. But like for us, one of our closest guys, like you said, was Jason Dunn. Like, and Priest would know, if we schedule a dinner and we wanted JD to be there at 7, we had to tell him it started at 5, and he still show up at 8. So that was just
wow, you had to give him a 3-hour window.
Priest,
yikes.
No, seriously. The funniest thing was, at Coach Mills Hall of Fame induction, I'm talking to JD, and I'm like, okay, you got to be here for this. You got to be here for this. You got to be here. JD missed the whole everything. I get to Coach Mills' party. JD at the door greeting everybody. I'm like, but it made it seem like he was there on time. He missed the induction. He missed the dinner. Missed everything. We just kind of got used to it. If you told JD if you told him that if dinner was at 8, you had to tell him that dinner was probably going to be at 6. And he would probably still show up at like 9 o'clock. That was just Jason Dunn. But, we loved him to death. And he had that type of personality where you'll be mad at him because he might hold you up or whatever. And as soon as he get there, he started laughing. And next thing you know, it's like, okay, that's JD. So,
everything's good.
So you just kind of, you kind of get into that zone where you just take care of your area and your spot. You don't really try to judge anyone else if they're not as, because you see, you playing in National Football League, you see some guys, you're like, man, you're not even going to attempt to get in the shower before you go home. And we're like, so that kind of stuff there, I'm like, nah, man, you ain't sitting in my car.
Yeah, and his baseboards definitely are not clean. That's for sure.
More than baseboards ain't clean.
So T-Rich, I got a question for you. So just thinking back and going kind of blast from the past, do you recall I guess it's the first 2 games, how that kind of transpired, where they had brought me in to be the starting running back, but you ended up with more carries than me the first 2 games. And it wasn't until that 3rd game, we kind of talked about this previously. And it was like, what did it take for you to really have that point for me to where I thought like, okay, my time has arrived. It's clicked. I know what to do offensively. And I said, I really have to credit it back to T-Rich, because it was you who went upstairs to Coach Ramil and to the coaching staff and says, wait a minute, you guys aren't giving Priest the ball, So I wanted you to touch on that real quick, man, just to talk about some of those early beginnings of me in Kansas City.
Yeah, it was funny because we shared the story. Actually, when I got inducted into the Chiefs Ring of Honor, and I was there with my parents, and I was about to lose it. And I was like, I was just getting emotional. I had to have Priest come up and tell the story. But, it was one of those things. It was like, because I was the primary ball carrier, and we really didn't quite know what we had in Priest. I think it was after that 2nd game, and you blew it open. And I'm like sitting here like, man, I can't do that. You know what I mean? But I realized what our style of offense, like what would serve us both, is for both of us to be on the field. And I do remember going to Coach Mel and just like, Coach, we got to figure out a way, because we got to get Priest the ball. And from that point on, I mean, it was I go back and look at some of our highlights, man. It's just like, some of the things that you were able to do from, I mean, just to be able to catch a screen at 10 yards and take it 80, you know what I mean? Like, and all those different kind of things. And so it was just, I think it was that mentality that I think we were both raised with, that if, especially in the military background, it's like, it doesn't matter who gets the credit as long as the job gets done. And as long as, if I'm doing my job and we win, that was the best thing for me. And I think once, I went back to fullback, and then you took over the primary carries, I think our whole offense, it was amazing. I'm just like, we should actually get on the coaches about that. Cause I'm like, man, what were y'all doing? Why did it take 2 games to figure this out? But we had a special bond, bro.
It really was.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers, Priest, $5. You just bet that and you can get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only. 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly, and you must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, and Kentucky, as well as Louisiana and select parishes. Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.